Hello, hello, and welcome to the KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show. I am your host, Kaylin John Louis, and I am very excited to be on the air today. Just a friendly reminder as we are still in flu season, stuffiness season, and just a time where everybody, I believe, needs to be safe. Just make sure you are using your safety precautions everywhere you go, whether that's making sure you take your facial precautions with a mask or with getting vaccinated, or simply just making sure that you are safe wherever you go. It is very important that you make sure that you use the buddy system in all places that you go in and just make sure that people are aware of where you are. Can't stress safety enough. But before we go any further, I encourage you right now to download the Hallelujah 95.3 app so that you can listen to the show on the go on your electronic devices. Also, please tag a friend and have them listen into today's upcoming discussion. To get right in, I want to know and let you all know that for everyone who's consistently been tuning in, I thank you so much. In continuing my efforts to recognize and celebrate young women in our community who are doing great things for Women's History Month, I did last week have one of the Tallahassee 5 young women to watch on with me to share her story and some of the things she's doing in the community. But as promised, this week I have two more of the 5 young ladies on with me to discuss more about themselves, what they do in the community to make it a better place, and give their perspective on why they decide to celebrate Women's History Month. So the two ladies are Miss Aida Richardson and Miss Symone Thompson, and I am so glad to have them on the air. Welcome to the show, ladies. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Aida Richardson, and I'm a senior at Leon High School. Just a quick fun fact about me is that I am the student representative on the Leon County School Board. And thank you so much for having me today.
It is my honor. Thank you so much for being on.
So, hello, my name is Symone Thompson. I'm also a senior at Leon High School. And at Leon, I have the privilege of being involved in a lot of extracurriculars that mean a lot to me personally. Earlier this year, something that I did that I'm very proud of is help lead the annual Leon Cancer fundraiser, and we were able to raise over $35,000 for the Tallahassee Memorial Cancer Center. And I'm also very excited to be one of the Tallahassee Democrats' 5 young women to watch and a part of this discussion today. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being on. For all those listening, I got some Leon Lions on here who are seniors. I know that everybody is just excited. I know us 3 as seniors are so ready for the year to hurry up and get to a close. I mean, we're excited for all the things we've cherished, but senior year is a big monument. And since we talk about senior year, we're talking about those big accomplishments that are happening. And one of the big ones is all 3 of us being named Tallahassee's 5 young women to watch, which we are so appreciative of, and thank the Tallahassee Democrat and Club 25 Women just for that prestigious honor. But I want to get you all's perspective on what it felt like when you heard that you were one of Tallahassee's 5 young women to watch and just what that title means. We'll start with Symone this time.
Yes, so I I don't think anyone who serves in the community does it for any kind of, notoriety or praise or anything like that. And so one of my friend's moms actually came to me and said that she was going to nominate me and that she thought I'd be a great fit. And I was just kind of taken aback because she wasn't someone I interacted with all the time, and I didn't even know that she kept tabs on what I was doing, but she just told me that she thought I'd be a great fit. And it was just, even that was so humbling, and it just meant a lot to me. And so after we kind of went through the whole and everything like that, I remember checking my email and then immediately texting Aida because I was just so excited. And it just felt like a full circle moment, to be recognized by the Tallahassee Democrat, which is, such a big, a really great opportunity to be in the company of some really amazing women doing really amazing things, especially just at home in our own community.
I agree with the fact that it's such a great honor. And I mean, I've seen even this opportunity of us being able to be named, we've all been able to get in contact with each other. I mean, I knew Aida previously because she attended my high school, but even getting to know you and seeing some of just the great things that you're doing in the community, I'm so glad that we all were nominated together because I believe that we are doing things in our community to make it a better place. And are really just trying to make the world better than what it is now. Aida, what about you? What was your initial reaction?
So it's actually really funny. At the time, I was waiting for one of my dream school decisions. It was a rolling admission, so like every day I was just checking my email, just refreshing it over and over and over. I get those little spam emails from everyone else, and then I just remember one day I checked my email in a random class period I wasn't doing anything in, and it said something along the lines of, "Congratulations, you've been selected to be one of the 5 young women to watch." And I was like, "What?" And then, I kept reading. It said, "Don't tell anyone." And so, uh, I, tell my parents everything. Whenever I get an email, I always tell them about it. If it's something exciting, I tell them about it. But, holding this in was, like, really hard for me, especially since it's a huge accomplishment, and my mom was one of the 25 young women or 25 women to watch in the past, and so I just remember going home, not saying anything. I remember my mom asking me, like, "So, Ada, like, did anything interesting happen today?" I was like, "No, yeah, I didn't do much, like, regular school day." And then all of a sudden, um the Democrat posts it. I'm getting emails back and forth, congratulations, texts, and then my mom was like, "Aida, like one of our family friends nominated you," and I actually knew about it, and I was like, "Oh, so that's why you asked me, okay." But it was just a huge shock. I didn't really expect it. You never really expect these things, especially as a high school student. You don't really like understand that people are genuinely watching you. A lot of people are saying, like my parents have eyes everywhere. Their friends are always watching me, but you never really take that into consideration because you're just helping out the community. You're not doing it for anything, like Symone said, and so this was just an amazing opportunity that I was given. And again, it was such a shock because I just really don't think, personally, I just didn't think that anyone was really watching me that closely to think that I was, you know, enough to have given this opportunity. So I'm just really, really thankful for it. And it was such a surprise.
Well, congratulations to the both of you. I mean, that is really commendable. And I resonate with those emotions too, because it was a shock as well. I was sitting there working on my computer and got the same emails, and it was like, whoa. But I didn't see it. My mom actually came in my room and was like, check your email, check your email, check your email. And I'm like, okay. So I end up seeing it, and I'm like, wow. And what you were saying, Aida, about not even realizing that people are watching you, but just for the purest intentions of seeing your trajectory and seeing how far you can go, it's good to know that here in Tallahassee, we do have those people who are willing to showcase and celebrate the awesome things that young girls are doing. Because I believe the more they continue to do this, it shows little girls like us everywhere that it's possible. It's possible to be in the position where you're simply caring for others because you want to, and just being able to be a representation for other people of color, other people of different backgrounds and nationalities, that you are in this position. So saying this and knowing that we got honored 4 or 5 young women to watch, we also know that it is also Women's History Month. We're just coming off of that, and knowing that everybody's been celebrating the essence of women, all the accomplishments and things that they've done in the past and in the present to make our lives better, to pave the way for all the educational paths or career paths that we want to go into. I kind of want to hear from the both of you on what you think it means to celebrate Women's History Month and or why you choose to celebrate it. We can start with Aida.
I think that this month is so important. Just yesterday at the school board meeting, we recognized the first women's team in Tallahassee, which was a softball team at Godby High School. And to just think that it's only been 50 years that girls' sports have been in Leon County is insane. I play sports. I'm a huge soccer fan. I've been playing at Leon for the past 4 years. And so um, I'm so appreciative that, people, in the past women haven't been treated that well, especially African American women. And so I think that we just all need to turn the focus onto women because, we are I'd say leaders of the world. I think we make the world go round. And so we really need that recognition. Um, and I just remember last year, my A Push teacher was really big on Women's History Month. And one of the women that I did a little bit of research on during her class was Mae Jemison, because I want to be an aeronautical engineer when I'm older. And she was the first Black astronaut. And so ever since I was younger, I always looked up to her. And so I think during this month, um, just as little girls, we just need to, turn the attention onto these wonderful women who've paved the way for us. And so I just think that this month is extremely important, and we need to keep recognizing those amazing women, especially those in our community that are continuing to pave the way for us. Um, and yeah.
I too think that women make the world go round. If you look at just all the great things from being able to have the option of creating life and even being able to inspire those around them, we are some very, very powerful human beings. And I think, as you stated, the more we celebrate, the better that it is. What about you, Simone?
I agree with everything that Aida said, but I also think that it's important for not only recognition, but also just for young people. And so, something that I've really been thinking about recently in terms of like history and education is that, if you don't see it, you may not think you can be it. And so, during Women's History Month, I hope that there's a spotlight on talented and courageous women who have really been pushing boundaries and making things happen for a very long time, because you never know how that will inspire a young girl, even a young girl of color, and that they know if she did it, I can do it too. And I think that's a lot more powerful than some of us might think. In terms of celebrating it, I think that, it doesn't have to be huge companies, hosting celebrations or anything like that. I think it can really be on an interpersonal level. And so for me, it just means appreciating the women in your life and telling them that, hey, I see you and I appreciate you and your efforts are commendable, and I'm thankful for the impact you've made on my life and the lives of those around me. And so, as Women's History Month comes to a close, I hope we can just continue to be thankful and really acknowledge all of the work that women have done that has gone unnoticed.
I too hope that that continues as well. I don't want it to just stay in the month of March and land flat. I believe that we have to celebrate each other. And I think Women's History Month, too, just to add on to what both of you said, is really about supporting each other, women supporting women, just like how we're on here now. And we're supporting each other by having you all share your stories and us just talking about the essence, because there's a quote by Serena Williams. She actually says that every woman's success should be an inspiration to another, and that we are the strongest when we come together. And I really think that is true, because when we're together, we cheer each other on. We just have a different level of love, of umph that pushes us to be greater. And I think the more that women everywhere continue to stand together and continue to cheer each other on and be each other's best supporters, that's how real change is going to be able to happen. We talk about women and we say that we're celebrating them. But I want to know, are there any personal women in you all's life that inspire you, or just they could be someone personal to you, it could be someone famous in the media, but what is one woman, or who is one woman who inspires you? You can go ahead, Simone.
Yes. So, the women that inspire me are definitely women of my family and definitely my mom. And so I think my mom is so inspirational because she just does so many things without ever expecting anything in return. So never expecting recognition, never expecting, people to, it's never tit for tat. She's just a giver. And so that's inspiring to me because I think in the age of like social media and things like that, I think it can become easy to do things for like a like or a reaction or a pat on the back. But she just has shown me my whole life that, you can do things without, expecting recognition, and you can do things out of the goodness of your heart. And I think that's a really powerful message. And it's one that I hope I can continue to act on for the rest of my life. But yes, all the women of my family are so strong and just inspire me every single day to just give love and just be a good person. I think it's that's something we need right now.
I agree. Those lessons are very necessary right now. And I give kudos to the women in your family because they have allowed you to be where you are today. And we thank them for all that they have done for just not just you, but just everyone that they've
Absolutely.
encountered because they have done some important things. What about you, Aida?
Yeah, very similar to some of the women. Both my mom and my sister, they're very inspirational to me, especially my mom. And I was just talking about this the other day. She came to America from Ethiopia, and so she was raised in a single parent household, and she just really built this name for herself in Tallahassee, becoming the first Ethiopian judge in the United States. She's, been such a big inspiration to me. And just like Simone's mom, mine does not ask for anything in return. She literally will be out at 10 o'clock at night buying people gifts. She's a huge gift giver. That is her love language. And so, she loves giving people gifts, but she doesn't ever respect or expect anything in return. She loves serving her community. She's just always out there. We rarely see her at home because whenever she's not at home, she's going to help someone else. Whenever she's on the phone, she's checking up on someone. Do you need me to bring you dinner? Do you need me to get this for you? She's just such a caring person, and I strive to be so much like my mom, especially when I'm older. And my sister is also a huge inspiration to me. That's really hard to say because younger sibling, don't really want to admit that, but my older sister is also an inspiration. She motivates me to be the best person I can. Just like a few hours ago, I got off the phone with her with a few things that I had to get off my chest, and she was just being so nice. She gave me the best advice, best college advice. Um, and so she's also a huge inspiration to me, especially just because she went to the same college I'll be going to, and it's very different from a normal college. And so just seeing her get through that, she's really shown me that I can get through that. And then again, Mae Jemison is also a huge inspiration to me. I just love her. I really look up to her. Hopefully, I'll be another astronaut in space just like her. But yeah, those three ladies have really paved the way for me, and I hope to be like them when I'm older.
I love that trifecta. We thank them for real, for just all that they've done. And I know that I love that the common thread I think between all three of us is just those moms who care. They're making us into some really, really great young women. And so we celebrate Aida's mom, her sister, just all the women who've come before us, their legacies, their reasoning to get to the place they are, even their push to fight for women's rights is the reason we are here today. So we definitely thank them. I talked about my mom last time, and I consistently say that she is my inspiration. And if I were to mention another, it's going to be my godmom, Miss Annette McBride. She does a lot for a lot of people. And a lot of times, as you all stated, she does it just not so she can get noticed, but because she truly cares about what she does. And she's just helped me be the woman I am today. So I'm so, so grateful for her. As we really get into a little bit more, I also want to say today's topic, because I know I didn't mention that earlier, is Girls Can Do Anything, part two, because that's what we talked about last week. And us being examples of young women in the community who can do anything. I kind of want to hear from y'all. What do y'all think the phrase girls can do anything means? And what impact do you hope to have on future generations because you can do anything? I will start with Aida this time. Yes.
Okay, so this is actually like such a great topic because in middle school, I actually went to a camp called Girls Who Rule the World. And it was just basically a camp where girls from literally all over the country, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, we just all came together. We stayed on a farm one time, I think, and then in another place. And we just heard speakers that looked just like us who had kind of built their businesses from the ground up, uh, just talk to us and kind of go through their struggles and the boundaries that they had to break. And so it just kind of shows that like we really can do anything. Girls can do anything, no matter what boundaries in your way. You just have to stay strong. Uh, and there might be a few people who tell you, "Oh, you can't do that. Are you sure that you want to do that?" But you really can do that because you are enough. And I think that a lot of young girls need to realize that. And so, yeah, I think it's very important for us to show young girls, especially ones that look like us, um, that we can do anything. And that, yes, there may be obstacles. And, it's not going to, like the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. It doesn't take like a click of a button to make these obstacles go away. You're going to have to get over it. And that's going to help you build as a person. Um, and yeah, and then I guess for future generations, I just hope that I can show them that it's it's okay to, have your faults. You just have to own up to them. Um, and that's going to help you grow as a person because I wish growing up that someone had told me that, hey, it's okay for you to mess up. Um, and it's okay for you to, learn from these mistakes because in the end, you're just going to grow as a person and you can, just not forget about them, but accept them and just realize that these are good things to happen to you. Like everything happens for a reason. So,
I agree. That's the thing I live by. Everything happens for a reason. I've adapted that even going just everywhere in life and learning that things will happen and there are some things you cannot control. But you dropped some great advice to the young girls listening. So I hope those who are listening take that into account. Symone, what about you? What does the phrase girls can do anything mean? And what impact do you hope that you are able to leave on future generations knowing that you can do anything?
So I completely agree that girls can do anything and everything that they want to do. And the phrase that I tell myself is you can do anything you put your mind to. And so this has been something my parents, I'm sure y'all's parents have said it too, but have said to me growing up my whole life. My dad has always said you can do anything you put your mind to. And so I think that that makes the phrase a little bit more specific because, I don't necessarily think that good things are just going to happen to you. You really sometimes have to go out there and go get them. And so if you make a plan, you genuinely can accomplish anything. I completely agree that mistakes will only make you stronger and will only build your character. So on future generations, I hope that I can just, do the best with that I can with what I have. And I hope that I can really demonstrate to my community that to create change too. And I think that you don't necessarily have to, you know, I don't know, like raise $10 million. I think that showing young girls, especially in Tallahassee, that any positive change is positive change and that anything positive that you do is contributing to, the health and the prosperity of our community. And so I think hopefully I can demonstrate that even as a young person, you can make positive change just by having a good idea and having a good attitude and being willing to collaborate and work with others, usually other women, to really just make amazing things happen. So,
Well, I can say for the both of you, even though we are still getting to know each other, just from seeing all that you've done, I believe that y'all's impacts are really being made on the community by every life that you encounter and every person that you talk to. I believe honestly that us being chosen for this is because there are people who see the lasting impact or the effects that we will have on the community. And I honestly think that the more we continue to push past ourselves, because I know a lot of times, even when people are concerned about how do I make an impact, how do I make a difference, even as Symone said, where some people may say, oh well, if I don't give this large amount of money, then I don't make a difference, or if I am not doing this big thing and getting all the likes and the fame, like Aida said, then I'm not doing something. But I think women and young girls everywhere should really see that you got to push past those thoughts and those feelings, because everybody, in my opinion, I think has the potential to be great, has the potential to push people to their greatest places. You just have to recognize that potential within yourself, because if you don't see it yourself, then who will? And I honestly
I
think
agree.
that the more we continue to
Absolutely.
push, the more that girls see that it's possible, that you can do anything, that even when there are people who will try to stop you, because that is like that in our world. There are going to be those haters, those naysayers. There are going to be those people in life that just genuinely think that you are not ready for where you are, but you have to continue being your biggest supporter and knowing that through it all, everything can be possible. Now, as we get ready to wrap up the show, is there any last advice that you all would like to give to any young girls who may be looking up to you that you haven't said already?
I just kind of want to piggyback off of what you said. There are going to be those doubters in life. Trust me, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're only doing this because so and so, or you're not going to get that position, or you're not going to get this position. You're not going to get into this school, that school, you're not going to get this grade. Just don't even listen to them. Take it with a grain of salt. I know it's easier said than done. But just prove to them that you can do it. You don't even have to prove to them, because you're going to be doing it. And so that was a really big thing for me in high school. I didn't take a lot of that stuff with a grain of salt, and I did let it get to me. And that definitely affected me mentally. That broke down my confidence. But as a senior, after growing from everything, just taking a step back and realizing it, a lot of those people are very much wrong, because I'm standing in this place where I am now, where a lot of them said I wouldn't be. And so I think it's very important for girls, young girls especially, to realize that no matter what anyone says, again, you can do anything. And just, again, I know it's easier said than done, but not listening to the naysayers and just doing what you want to do, because in the end, you're living for yourself, and so you want to make sure that you're happy. And again, don't listen to what other people say, because they aren't you. So I think that's a really big piece of advice, that if I could tell my younger self something, that would be something I would tell little me. And hopefully the younger girls listening to this, or any age, takes that advice as they please. So
Great advice, Aida. Symone, you have anything you want to add?
Yes, I do. So I think my piece of advice would be, if you want to do something, do it. I think a lot of times people have these amazing, wonderful ideas, and they really have creativity with how they want to help the community. But I think and this has happened to me too in the past, but we kind of get shy. And so I remember, you just have all these ideas and you're like, well, I couldn't make it work like this. Oh, nobody would participate. Oh, and you kind of start doubting yourself. But I think really, if you have a good idea and if you have a plan, just make it happen. And so even like you starting this radio show, and like all of the other 5 young women to watch who are just doing wonderful things in the community, just take some initiative and really find people in your life who are willing to help you and willing to support you. And you really can just make your dreams come true. And so if you have good intentions and if you really want to help the community, your plan will come together, and I encourage you to take the first step. So yeah.
Well, thank you all so much. I appreciate you both for being on. And we can't stress it enough. Ladies listening everywhere, know you got this. You can do anything. You are important. You are enough. You are loved. You are strong. Just go out there and be great. So before we leave, I want you all to go ahead and shout out right quickly how people can get connected with you so that they can hear more about your life and just ways you're helping the community. Aida, you can go ahead.
So
Oh,
Oh,
Symone, you can go.
okay, sorry about that.
okay.
My email is spt.thatsme@gmail.com, and my Instagram is Symone_T_.
Awesome. Get connected. Aida.
My email is AidaRichardson0622@gmail.com, and my Instagram is AidaNaomi_. You can also reach me at the school boards every second and fourth Tuesdays of the month.
Awesome. Well, y'all get connected with them. These are definitely some young women you want to have your daughters, your friends, your family know because they're doing great things. I thank you all so much for listening today to today's discussion. I believe it was great. I am going to ask that you go to www.kaylinscaringconnection.com to see more about me and why I continue to do what I'm doing. You'll also be able to find my social media platforms on there. But again, I appreciate your support. I hope that you are enjoying these empowering conversations. Always know that I care about you. And if no one has told you today, know that I love you. Thank you for listening, and catch me on the next KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show. Bye-bye.